Okay, so I am going to talk about my new Minecraft speedrunning PB. I finally got a sub 20, which is something that I was working towards for like a month. And I got it 2 days ago, as of recording this, I believe, yeah. The funny thing is, literally maybe like 2 hours before I got this run, I did the same thing for my previous BB, which was a 2002 that I had gotten like a week and a half before that and just never uploaded. And before I could put that up, I got this run. So I guess that will be in the description unlisted if you want to see that one. Let's get going. So starting off, we roll into a village seed. Normally I'm re-rolling for buried treasures, but I do tend to check villages just to like see, is there a good blacksmith maybe? And so I'm just kind of looking around, and I spot this blacksmith, and I go in the back because it's closer. And we have 7 obsidian, 2 iron. The 2 iron isn't great, but the 7 obsidian is. If I get 1 more obsidian, I can just enter off of the blacksmith lava, and I spot this ruined portal. And this ruined portal has 2 obsidian, so I can just enter from the blacksmith straight away. I pick up these gold tools and armor. Those will come in handy later. And now I just start mining the stone to make my tools. I put on the armor. I gotta get some wood for a crafting table. And then here I set up my pie chart for a fortress, which I should have overlapped with doing literally anything else. It would have saved some time. This is something that I've been trying to do, because usually I just forget to set up pie chart entirely. And so I've been trying to set it up for a fortress like in the overworld, so I just don't forget. I'm just getting my wood. I usually go for 10 wood because that leaves me with a boat and doors and my tools with a decent amount of wood to spare. But I don't need doors here because I'm entering on the blacksmith, so I can need even more. I'm using dirt to stack up to kill the golem, and that's just because then I don't have to like mine the wood back down again. And then I mine the dirt down anyway because I'm a fucking idiot, I guess. I don't know. I'm still really slow at like fine motor anything really, honestly. Anyway, I don't get enough. I get 6 iron, and I should have made a pickaxe and a flint and steel. Wait, no, I have a flint and steel, so I made a bucket anyway. I didn't need the bucket, but I did get a flint and steel, so I didn't need the 7th iron. I think I'm going for the hay over here just because I want some food. This is by far like not my fastest enter. Like usually I get like around 3 minutes, which is it's a little faster than what this will be. I try to go for sub 4. I get sub 3s every so often. I think I've had maybe like 2 sub 2s ever. Yeah, I craft up my food, and I build my portal over here. Something that I didn't realize at the time was it's much easier to build a blacksmith portal, like, over by, like, the steps up to this little forge area. But I just, like, didn't realize that because I'm an idiot. I guess. I don't know. But I build my portal here, and it takes a while, so I get, like, a 320 enter. And I'm just setting up for, I don't know why I loaded my FME there. I didn't pause immediately for E-Ray, which is kind of stupid, but I spot a bastion that way, and that's bad because there's just like a big ass wall here. I decided to try going around to the right, it looks like. And I don't really see too many options. I'm not a fan of this direction because of the basalt delta. I just don't like basalt delta, and also bastions don't typically spawn in there, and if they do, it makes it really annoying to do like anything. So I just decided to run down this cave and see if it like opens up to any terrain, and it doesn't. So now I'm forced to dig. I just recheck which direction I need to go. It's basically straight north. So I pick up my boat and I am going. Okay, I guess it's a little bit northwest, but mostly north. I'm using... You can't really see anything because I'm on FOV 30, but that just makes it easier to tell if I like pass the bastion accidentally. So I just like stay in FOV 30 just to keep an eye on the E-ray counter. I realized I have 2 gold pickaxes and I decided to break those out just to go a little bit faster. And that ends up being a pretty good choice, especially now that I'm like already a little bit in, because otherwise they would have both just broken and I wouldn't even be there. But I pull out my second gold pick here. And I keep going, and there's not much interesting here. And then I just run straight into the bastion. It's a treasure I know immediately as soon as I break through the wall. And while I am here, you can see the little bridge where you would go to the top treasure to get your stuff is like right there. But while I'm here, I decide I don't know where the fortress is. I might as well go break the spawner. There is a bug where sometimes breaking the spawner just doesn't work. But I think I got lucky here, and it does work here. Yeah. So now I can pyrate just fine, and I just got to get back up to the little bridge area. This is a sub 6 bastion enter, which is about what I was aiming for like a sub 20 run. It's not the greatest. I've had like 4-minute bastion enters, but they usually don't go very well. I play safe. Usually I would place that block on the side, like, as I was jumping over, but I decided to play it safe because this is pretty good pace. And I would also usually go, like, up to the right instead of going up the staircase, but, you know, again, play safe. I don't even aggro the piglins here, which I normally do. I don't know why I don't do that. But I aggro them up here, I guess. And I set up my trading table. I don't remember how long I spend in this bastion. I think it's like a few minutes. There's not really much to talk about in this part of the route. I shouldn't have jumped down there. I should have just instantly seen there's no gold block there, but I didn't. Not much to talk about. This is just your standard top treasure route. Just get your gold and trade with the pigs. Get two gold in the middle. I'm still getting used to hotkey crafting. I'm not very good at it, but I'm getting there. I especially can't really do it with like the second half of the hotbar because it's just so far away from either of my hands. But you know, I get pretty decent gold rates. Each of these gold blocks has only a 70% chance of generating, so I get pretty lucky in that regard. Because sometimes you can just get rolled and have to go like really lucky. Like that one seeded and that one didn't generate. I checked my trades. I have good pearls, very bad obsidian, and actually no string at all. So I'm just kind of sorting out my inventory while I wait on trades. I should be checking chests right now. I can always sort my inventory later. But I decide now to go check my chests. I get a lot of obsidian there, so that's always good. Even more here, which I am 1 obsidian short from having 20. I decide to leave that iron since I already have 6 ingots. I shouldn't really need any more than that. An okay amount of string in there and another gold block to trade. And here's where I start to pyrate, and it's 30. This is something that the spawner likes to do, where sometimes it like doesn't show up until you get to 32, and then you start going back down, and then suddenly it's there at like 28, and there it is at 28, I believe 29, and so I start just kind of digging through the walls to figure out which direction it's in, and it's not in either of those 2 directions, so I check out front this way. And I get unlucky because all the 3 of the directions that I've checked are just not where it is, so it's got to be like this way, and it is. So I make note that that is north, and I turn off my chunk borders. There's some string up there, and 41, 18, 59 string. Ideally you want 60, 59 is not incredible. I don't think I get this. I wait for the trades here to see if I can just get another string trade. I don't think I get one though. Yeah, no, I'm just stuck on 59. I can craft a respawn anchor, though. And also, like, 60 string is for 5 beds, which is just safety. Like, you can run with 4, and you'll probably be fine. But I have to leave in 59 string into respawn anchor. I decided to go on top of the treasure, and I find some more open terrain, which is good. I like stand and stare at this gas because I think it's going to shoot at me, and it just doesn't, so I decide to go. That was a huge time loss. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, I'm out of the bastion at 10 minutes, which is, it's okay. I've had times where I've been to the fortress and blinding at 10 minutes before, and I threw all those runs. So this is like okay pace. The fortress is pretty far though, so I'll probably be getting there at like 12 minutes, which is still sub 20 pace, but it's definitely not my best. I can be purling way more aggressively here because I have a lot of bread, but I think I just decide I don't want to deal with the lava, and so I decide to come over here first. I go into the lava anyway. And then I just purl my way up here. And I'm thinking, okay, the 4 is probably in this basalt delta because bastions don't like to generate in there. So this quadrant probably loaded a fortress, if I had to guess. I don't even know what quadrant I'm in, but I decide this terrain up here is probably a good place, so I decide to just stack up here. I should have probably purled up there, it would have been faster. And for a second, I think this is bad terrain, but I noticed there is still an opening here, so I decide to run for it. And it does open up quite a bit. And I also see the fortress to my right, so that was a good play on the terrain there, instead of going around. I get another fire res on my hotbar, just in case, and I spot the spawner over here, so that's a good time save. I don't have enough wool for blaze bed, however, so I can't do that. I decided to get my blind portal built. Not very fast, but it's fine. The dog's barking in the background. And I placed that obsidian there. That is very sad.
Do with that fucking
moment. Because then I have to like sit for like 40 or so seconds just breaking that with the iron pickaxe. That guy decides to fly up, which is really annoying. Anyway, I've got 3 blazes. I think I've killed maybe 4.
Let's just deal with this real quick.
Yeah, and I have to sit here and break this. Let's see how long it takes. I hear blazes spawning here, but now I'm like halfway through breaking. I just have to sit and wait and lose time instead of killing them. I could have built another portal, but then I wouldn't be able to double travel if I did. So I decided to break the obsidian. Yeah, that took 45 seconds of time lost to break that. I get another rod, and another blaze spawns on me, so I kill him. He drops a rod. I think I'm 5 for 6 here, maybe? Maybe even 5 for 5. I think 5 for 6. These are not very good blind cords, to be honest. Yeah, I check my blind cords. They're not good, so I'm kind of banking on the double travel, which I wouldn't have been able to do if I didn't break that obsidian. And this guy drops, and so I'm out. I believe I went 6 for 7 there. I get my calculator out. I realized last second I should probably go up in that block to spawn high, and I spawn on the top of a jungle tree, which is probably one of the best blind spawns you can get because you don't really have to worry about mobs. And I do my boat eye calculation. And I consider trying to get a more precise reading, but I just decided to run with the plus 15. And I see that I have 175 block blind.
Okay.
I left my boat there, which I didn't realize until later. But I decide I don't know how to portal break. Firstly, second of all, I just decide it's 175 blocks, so I can get there in 2 pearl throws. I might as well just go. I didn't even need. I could have just made a blind portal instead of breaking the obsidian, and wouldn't have even had to double travel. But obviously, there's no way for me to have known that, right? And so I throw my pearl over here, and I am very close already. One more pearl throw, and I'm basically there, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I just need to go right down here, and then I'm basically just there. I'm setting up for preemptive here, just so I don't forget. Yeah, and I'm just on course basically right now. I'm literally 1 block off. But, 1 block doesn't really matter. I really hope that this is correct. Of course, if I knew how to portal break, that would have been slightly faster to avoid the dig down. But it's fine. Yes. And now I am in the stronghold. And so I do my preemptive. And it's not the most helpful of preemptives, but it does tell me a general direction, I guess. And I decided to go top left.
Top left.
And I go to the right here. I don't see it yet. I go through this door. And then I decide I've gone too far into the stronghold. It's probably not here, so I head back to starter. I go through. There's no reason for me to go through that door. I could have just gone around. And so now here I decide to go mid, because I think, well, it's probably this way. But then I see this library, and I'm like, well, while I'm here, I can get a string, so I can guarantee 5 beds. I'm pausing to do something or another. I don't know. I just get literally 1 string, and I start crafting my beds. And I head down this staircase to just see if it's down here. Please leave me alone. And it is not down here, so I'm like, okay, clearly mid was the wrong direction to go. Because that also just leads to another library, so it's definitely just not here. So I'm like, okay, well, top left is probably the correct choice then.
Somewhere.
And that
right
lost me a minute and a half, probably. I go left here. And I come to this other 5-way. I decided to just see if there's another spike in this room, and there was, but I don't think I saw it. And I see it through this door. And so now I'm just entering the end, and I have 2.5 minutes to kill the dragon. Please just perch for me. I'm just kind of waiting for it to perch so I can kill it. Please, please. Please. And then it's kind of like heading in here, so I think, oh, maybe it's perching. And then there's the dragon snap, you know it's perching here. And that should be GG's. Yes! Finally got the sub 20. That took way too fucking long, dude. Go fuck yourself. Yes! 1931. Go fuck yourself.